people are prepared for it in any way, spiritually, psychologically, or physically.
Well, you know what I said on the show last week, that even I saw on the codes where I was shocked, and I was thinking, what could I possibly be shocked over? Because I was totally shocked about whatever it was, and the Lord revealed to me this week what that is. And I'll tell you what, I would be floored. I was floored when he revealed it. And so that's what I'm doing a whole website on. And it'll be up this week. I think it's going to floor a lot of people. You know, we put ourselves in a box because we get so used to hearing the same things over and over and over again from our own reading, our own understanding of what the scriptures say, and then what the churches teach. But when it comes alive and actually put into play, it's going to be much more bigger than we ever thought.
I think the one event that's happened, too, over the last year or so that has actually gotten the American public's attention is this bankruptcy law. It has shocked people how quickly it has gone into place, how frightening it is, and all the other things that have happened have just sort of floated through their consciousness, but this one has gotten everyone's attention.
Yeah.
Not that that's the most important, certainly not, event that has occurred, but for some reason it's gotten people's attention, and a lot of people have, for the first time, an apprehension that something is very wrong, and they have a deeper interest in prophecy and what is going on. I've also seen people in the last month or so being drawn toward the minor prophets, if it's proper to call them that, but Obadiah, Micah.
Right. Because there's so much there. You can't read the book of Revelation and then say, you know, everything there is to know about prophecy, even though you quote it word for word. Because there's so much that the minor prophets revealed as well. You know, if you just read Revelation chapter 17, you could get Vatican and Rome out of that. But when you put the minor prophets into play and what they had to say, and put it all together, then you realize it couldn't be the Vatican. And people take that one verse, City of Seven Hills, and say, okay, that's the Vatican, when it says farther down what those 7 hills are. And the minor prophets, like I said in my article on America to Babylon, there's over 100 prophecies of the last days Babylon. And, you know, the Vatican couldn't fulfill any of those. It's not the largest exporter of cars in the world. It's not the breadbasket of the world. It's the bread fleecer of the world.
That page that you have up on the identity of Babylon is one of the finest on the net.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, that took a lot of work, and that's going into this book. I've got the book coming out, Aliens on the Internet. And
I saw something on your site about a new program, another program that you're going to be working on here soon.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a 1-hour show in the afternoons, Aliens in the News. And what I'm trying to do is get people prepared for not just what's coming, but what's happening now.
Yes.
You know, Conda Lizard Rice, Lizard Cheney, Lizard Bush. These are lizards. These are reptilians in human form. These are humans that have hosted reptilians. There's been an overtaking of our government. Did you see the movie Manchurian Candidate?
Oh, very much. It's an amazing film.
Yeah, well, you know what? How he killed, at the end, he killed the vice president because he was chipped and he was controlled. And so instead of killing the free president, he decided to go ahead and just kill the vice president. Well, in real life, it's the president that was chipped and controlled, and he's allowed to live. You know, I mean, when I just saw that movie, it was like I couldn't understand why he went ahead and killed the vice president when he was supposed to be killing the president. But the whole thing was that there was a coup in the government, and that's exactly what's going on behind the scenes. I was just reading this week that Dick Cheney is a 5th cousin of George Bush.
Oh my gosh!
They're all related. You know, and how many? Gosh. You know, they buried that one because that took some digging to come out with that one. But Dick Cheney being the 5th cousin, and then John Kerry was his first cousin, So, we've talked about, the Illuminati bloodlines and how they protect them.
Mm-hmm.
Satan's bloodline. These families only interbreed amongst themselves to keep them, because they think it's elite bloodline. To them, they're not calling it Satan's bloodline. They think they're gods.
Mm-hmm.
And, they see things a lot differently and more perverted than we do. We know them for exactly what they are.
In that Manchurian Candidate, there are two little word plays with the character's name, too. The president's wife, her name is Mrs. Iselin. And if you permute the letters, it comes up with the word Nellis, like in the Air Force Base. And the gentleman who has been brainwashed, his last name is Shaw. And Shaw, if you change the letters around, spells wash, as in brainwash.
Huh. I wasn't, it was an okay movie. It was all right. I've been getting into this thing lately on Friday nights where I'm just getting away from the computer and watching some movies.
I like the one with that they made back in the 60s with Frank Sinatra, and they made a new one with just last year, and there was something in one of the trade papers that they had to go in and re-edit it because the person who played Mrs. Iselin her mannerisms, her characteristics were too close to Hillary Clinton's, and they thought Hillary Clinton would be offended, so they took out the scenes that were too close.
Is this the movie they were making jokes about Hillary Clinton? I guess it is.
Well, they say that she's wearing opaque contact lenses so that you can't see her eyes.
Hillary Clinton does?
Yes.
She wears contact lenses so you can't see her eyes.
The opaque ones that some people use to change the color of their eyes, but they're actually opaque, and it makes it impossible to see the real eye behind it. Some people will wear them if they want to change their eye color from brown to blue or something.
Yeah, I've seen those, the colored contacts.
And sometimes people will wear them if one of their pupils is much larger, say they've had a stroke. Of course, if you have a slit instead of a pupil, it helps too. But
oh, so she actually is trying to look like she had it. I'm convinced she's Satan's daughter. I'm convinced this whole series out this year about that New England thing is all about her.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, have you seen that series? I've mentioned it on the show before.
I don't have a television, unfortunately. Or
okay. Well,
fortunately, I don't know.
Series about Satan's daughter, and it's one of these New England states, and I'm convinced the whole thing's about Hillary Clinton. Because her father was in charge in the background of all these satanic churches in America. And so it makes sense, the whole storyline, because we know the Masons get a hold of pens and papers, and they start revealing plans all through series. We saw it in the X-Files. And they do things in a fiction format, and what they do is they tell you everything that's going on, they just do it in fiction, and then nobody believes it.
Yeah.
And then there's me trying to pinpoint what it is they're saying, I'm convinced it's her. I wouldn't be surprised, at least, if we're here in 2009, that she would be the president. If I'm still hanging my hat on Bush. I know people are dying laughing, but I'm telling you, he's just so dominant. Still hanging my hat on him and Benny Hinn. And then we have the trio of beasts. And I'll tell you what, the Bible speaks about the remnant of wicked in the last days. That's all these beasts. I've got beasts coming out of my ears. It's like, where do they go? And then by the time you figure one out, this job description changes. By the time you think you got them figured out, everything changes. And so that was